So the other day I went to Doug's channel and I noticed
this is a 2020 Cadillac CT5V, and it is...
and he said some interesting stuff, so let's talk about it. So when I was looking at Doug DeMuro's review, I noticed he talked about the V badge and how this isn't the V that you're expecting, and there's a little more to that discussion which I'll cover later in the video. But then he also started comparing this to the 3 Series, the C-Class, and the A4, and I found that interesting. So when I took delivery of the car, I noticed that it was actually a lot longer than the 3 Series. It's more like a 5 Series competitor. When I looked at the dimensions, which I'll point out here for the E-Class, the 5 Series, and the A6, they seem to make more sense in terms of they're lining up a lot better. And let's look at the horsepower for what I think this is actually competing on. I thought this was a way better comparison because this car is a lot bigger than those, and the horsepower lines up better with that of the 540, the E450, and so on. I actually want to talk about how I get these cars, because me taking delivery of it the day Doug actually uploaded his video was a coincidence. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know he had the car before me. I actually asked for this car because I was interested in the V badge that this car had. And this isn't an ad for Cadillac. I was interested in the CT5V because of what it's hinting at in the future in terms of Cadillac. And that's because there's the Blackwing series, which is going to come out, and that's going to be their M5 competitor, their E63 competitor, their RS6 Avant or RS6 competitor. So this is a sneak peek more so than it is a attempt to actually match up with those cars, if that makes sense. But going back to the reason why I get these cars, it comes down to the fact that I'm a media outlet. Thanks to you guys on TikTok, you guys on YouTube and Instagram, Cadillac wants me to show you guys the car, to tell you guys my thoughts on it. And I'm being completely honest. I'm not going to say this car is completely perfect or this car 100% sucks. I'm driving the car, I'm experiencing it for a week to tell you guys my thoughts. I did see the Straight Pipes video on how to do launch control. I'm going to try it here. I heard you're supposed to press it really quickly. I don't know how they did it. Yeah, this is a little interesting. I do want to get the launch control to work, but if it's not wanting to work with me, how am I going to do this? The engine does sound super good. You guys saw from the cold start. The shifts, they're nice when you're on full, wide open throttle, which is very satisfying to get to, especially from going in first, second, and third gears. Very easy to do at a reasonable speed. Gears are pretty long, so you could go, beyond legal limits. But if you downshift, which 10 speed, you do have to go pretty low. Dude, it sounds good. I think it sounds great for a V6. I'm not gonna knock it, and the power is sufficient, I think, for something in this price range. They do a good job of making you feel special in this car, which I know, the V versus the Blackwing, everyone's gonna talk about that. I'm already used to it. I guess you learn it and you move on. It's a branding thing. If you want the high performance one, the Blackwing is gonna be that fix for you. Otherwise, the V right now is gonna be the mid-tier. So that's the performance aspect, 0 to 60. I put it up here. I haven't been able to figure out launch control. If you do want to try it out, learn it when you do end up owning the car, figure out a time to double click on this thing, and then you'll on the traction control, and you should be good to go. Otherwise, just punch it, and I'm sure you'll get something satisfactory. Going on to comfort and drivability, I think the magnetic ride suspension does a great job. You can go between sport and touring and the different settings, your V mode and your My mode, which are two different performance profile settings. So that's always cool if you want to have that little adjustability. I'm either not in V mode or in V mode, which I have selected right now to use the louder exhaust, the track exhaust, engine sound setting. And you do notice a difference. I think I'd prefer it in the V mode, to be completely honest. I also have my V mode in the sport steering. It is more weighted. I think I like it more weighted. It's preference, guys. I really think everyone's gonna be like, oh, does it feel fake? It doesn't feel like it's directly hooked up to the wheels, that's for sure, because it's not. But I like the weighting on this sport mode, and that's just personal preference. So, you do notice a difference though, pretty drastically between the touring and then the normal and the sport steering. Same thing goes with the suspension. When it is in that stiffer suspension mode, you do feel the bumps. It resonates through cabin and then even to the wheel, which I like. I think that's a nice part of it. Going on to the interior quality, fit, and finish. I did the interior squeeze / crunch test, as you guys can see from the TikTok that I posted. And honestly, they did a good job with interior quality. I'm not gonna knock it. The leathers feel nice, soft touch materials pretty much throughout the cabin, guys. And I really am a fan of the seats, the way they look, they feel. The ventilation on the seats, because it is perforated, as you can see from the B-roll. The ventilation feels really good. They did a good job there. I feel like a lot of ventilated seats feel like they're wet. This one actually feels like you're getting cool air, which I like. Let's punch it again. And if you don't even ship, it will do the farts for you, which sounds so good. You get used to it, and it's fast enough to compete with a lot of performance cars out there. And from a Cadillac that not many people would expect to do these types of performance figures, I think 4.6 seconds is fast for this car. So, continue on to the interior, guys. Carbon fiber. All of the carbon fiber in Cadillacs are 100% real composite. This one has a nice red stitching, which I think adds a really nice touch, especially with the red stitching on the leather here. So they did a plus job in my book. Then you have the metal speaker grills for the Bose system, and I was blasting that on the freeway. It sounds so good. Good bass, well balanced, fills up the cabin very nicely, and is well suited for this vehicle. In terms of gripes about the interior, I want to say off the bat, the angle of the display is conducive to have some glare. Wasn't a big fan of that. So I wish they fixed it. I wish they kind of adjusted the angle or fixed the geometry, the layout there. That would have been nice to see. Okay, I don't have my navigation on, but it's telling me I'm going the wrong way. So yeah, it has no directions for me. It's a weird glitch, guys. In terms of I guess we'll talk about the infotainment system. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I've tried both. It's been pretty good there. Not many complaints. There is that glitch I guess I'll talk about, but overall you can learn how to use this with two different knobs, and the touch interface. I used the touch interface at first, and I moved to this once I got used to it and gave it a shot. So I think it's good enough, and it feels pretty good. I like the little etching they have around the ring. It's very you get good tactile feedback, which is good. And then last but not least are the looks. I think they did a great job in the looks. Personally, I'm a fan. The black plastic to substitute for, you know, the window line, I guess. I don't know what the technical terms are for these looks. But they did do that. Did they have to? No, they could have just had a little piece of glass that no one would have looked through. But they did it, and I mean, Doug pointed it out, so I'll mention it here. I don't like it either. So, otherwise, front grille I'm a fan of. I like the quad exhaust tips. Look kind of AMG-like, and I think it suits the angular look of the car really well. So yeah, guys, at the end of the day, this just makes me excited for what the Blackwing is going to be. The new tops here, the M5 competitor, the E63 competitor, the RS6 competitor. That's what this is going to be. The Blackwing is going to be up against. And I think given how surprisingly good this car is, it tells me there's a school zone in it, and that's really nice of them. So I won't be flooring it. But the fact that this is actually surprisingly good, and for the price compared to the competitors as well, because I think that's an important thing to look at when you are shopping between these cars. This is priced competitively. Is that I'm pretty sure even when the Blackwing comes out, those are going to be competitively priced as well. There's probably gonna be more demand on them because it's the, you know, the pinnacle, the new name for the pinnacle of Cadillac performance. So hopefully when that comes out, we'll be able to drive it, and then I can compare my reaction to this car versus that car. But that's pretty much gonna wrap it up here. If you guys did enjoy this video, please smash that subscribe button and the like button and all the other buttons you guys see. Helps out the channel a lot. And if you guys have any other cars from Cadillac or Chevy or anything else you guys want to see in the future, comment it down below, as well as you guys' questions. This week was pretty fun to spend with this car. I drove up to LA and I felt like I was in a whole other world. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.